Oh, just thrilled that we got a win at home, and we celebrate those. They're hard to come by. I say that all the time, but it's true. I think it gets truer every year. Every team has got quality coaches and good athletes on their teams, and if you have a week where you're not at full strength or your kids are not dealing with the mental side of the game particularly well, or you have a bad plan as coaches, you can find yourself in a fist fight that could go either way, particularly if you turn it over like we've been prone to do some. So feel really, really excited that we're, one-third through our season. In football terms, it's the first quarter, and to be setting at 3-1, obviously we would like to have been 4-0, but 3-1 certainly not bad. The effort from our defense continued to be phenomenal. Give Akron and Coach Moorhead and his staff a lot of credit. They had a really, really good plan, and it caused us problems, and it's good for us because we can, we need to get some of that fixed. I'm sure we'll see some of that again. So they had a really good plan for us on both sides, really. And they're quality coaches with good players, and I think they're going to get better as the year moves on. So we're excited to find a way to win. I thought our offense's positives were very few, other than they started fast, and we finished off a drive in the fourth quarter when we needed one to put the game away. So those were the few positives from the offensive side. Thought our punting game was extremely well. We outkicked our coverage a couple times, but our gunners have got to make that play. They were unblocked and they just missed tackles on it. But Aiden punted really well. I thought he was critical in the fourth quarter to win the field position battle and help us kind of go to our whatever we're calling the thoroughbred package with Nate to just run the football, and thought it was that was critical. So excited, 3-1, headed into obviously another one of these games that I consider to be a 50-50 contest. Could go either way. I think this is one of the more complete teams we've played. They're really, really, really athletic on defense, which has given us problems O-line wise, and I think their transfer corners are really good, and it made them better from last year. It's kind of the same front for the most part. 42 is one of the better linebackers we faced. He's averaging double-digit tackles a game. Really, really good football player, and all the guys on that side are just really athletic, and they're deep. They rotate and kind of remind me of us a little bit up front. So, really, really, it's going to be a challenge for us offensively. Coach Rain is obviously already got a Power 5 win this year. Been in every game, and had Virginia, came within a hair of having 2 Power 5 wins. So, playing at their place, which is I hear is an exciting place to play at. That they have great support there. So will be a great challenge offensively. This quarterback, as he goes, they go. Big, strong, throws a really good deep ball. Has very, very athletic tight ends and wide receivers, and tight ends only looks 6'9" or something like a giant on there, but he's probably 6'7", I guess, or something 6. But that's a matchup problem, and so we'll have to have a good plan, and those receivers, are 0 and 1 and 18 are all, as good as we've seen, and so the running back's the same. So this quarterback's throwing the ball around and doing a lot of good things. So Coach Rain has got it going there, and his staff does a good job. They'll have a good plan. We're going to be on top of our game to go and come out of there with a win.
Coach, Javion Lofton and Caleb Coleman had an impact that we don't often see them have. Would you like to tell us your perspective on that?
Well, excited. Caleb stayed around here now. This is he's been with us since I've been here, and truthfully, I think I've said it before. His his personal story is one that I'm quite proud of for him mostly, and obviously I think it speaks that our culture has, at least I know we've changed. He was a young man that he didn't trust many people, didn't want to fit into a different culture, didn't want to have conversation, and now, man, he's got his degree and has got wisdom, and so when you get a kid like that gets to make a play and score a touchdown, that's exciting. Same thing for Trayon. Scored, I don't know if that's his first touchdown or not, but it's one of the few. And then Javion's worked really hard through a lot of injuries since he's been here. So to see him come on and give DeMario a rest is really, really could be helpful as we get through this grind of a season.
I wanted to expand on Caleb. I mean, not only the break personally, but the fact that he went through so many knee injuries.
Knees and shoulders. He's another one that's just gone through. I think he's had 3 surgeries since we've been here. And, to see him just stick with it and battle through all of that and to be rewarded with some good play is quite satisfying.
Because I think you commented after he caught the touchdown pass against UMass about being rewarded for sticking it out. Yeah. And what does that say, I guess, for these younger players who maybe look up to him about the perseverance of sticking through things?
Well, we actually had a couple of our we had a long, lengthy it's really our convo on Monday mornings, and I taught a long lesson this morning, and then we had some honest dialogue about that. And some of the players like Caleb and DeMario and some others, had some great wisdom for some of these young guys. This is when the younger crew in today's time start having these mental battles of why am I not playing, and if and woulda, couldas and buts, and not really seeing things as a process. And that's where I'm trying to keep them centered is on the process of what you're becoming. No one is guaranteed anything other than the opportunity they have. So don't lose the opportunity, and don't not make the most of the opportunity because you're battling mentally so with wanting something instantly. And that's just most things that come instantly are probably not the greatest of things. And so it was a great meeting, and people like Caleb who have been through it, or DeMario who played very few snaps as a freshman, and now is one of the best in the country, I think. It was good for us to share and them hear it, not just from me, from other people like those guys.
Goes with a lot of different injury updates, but what are the keys?
I'll talk injuries on Mondays. I just don't want to talk them on Thursdays anymore. But I don't think that the first injury that's the most concerning is Barry, our trainer. I mean, he sustained a very it was gruesome looking. I saw the X-rays. I've talked to the docs, talked to his wife daily yesterday and today already. I talked to Barry last night. I think he was still feeling pretty good on some meds, but this morning he was in pain, and I think he's supposed to get out today sometime. Someone's going to come by and get some crutches, I think, and he's determined he'll be at the game Saturday. So he serves us very, very, very well here, and just hate that he's going to go through this, but I'm certain he'll make it. And we're also glad that our university, gives us the resources to have other people in place. Both Alexes down there are quality, and certainly are jumping in and picking up to help. So our prayers are going to be with Barry. But I think Dr. P thought the surgery went extremely well, and expects him to make a full recovery. So we're thankful to hear that. So what was your question?
What are the chances we see 3 quarterbacks on Saturday?
Yeah, I'm hopeful that we're going to get, Caden, Nasir, Bodden. I'm trying to think who else was out. The list has been long. Jolly had surgery, so he won't be back for 4 to 5 weeks probably. Sneed it will be like the others, hopeful. But I feel pretty good about Caden and Nasir and Biden after just today's brief time that we worked out. But so I feel pretty good about those. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, but feel pretty good that we'll get some of those back. We sure need them, to come back and help us, particularly in the O-line. We were better when we rotated people.
I was going to ask you with the O-line, so many different guys now getting involved there. How did they grade out after last Saturday?
Not great. It was probably our worst game for whatever reason, and we've got to get it fixed.
You rotated 7, I believe, in that game?
I think so. I think it was 7 guys, and we'd like to have about 9. So obviously, if those 2 jump back in, but we just didn't. I sent in all the penalties that they called on Cooper. They put us behind the chains. I don't understand what they're calling. So he is moving his foot. He's just kind of readjusting his heel. I don't see that as a quality foul. But I'll be anxious to see what the report says.
You told me at halftime the other night that there were some plays where you felt maybe JB was pulling when he should have been handing off to the running back. Now that you've seen the tape, were there chances for the running backs to even maybe get more than what they got? Yeah,
I didn't need to see the tape to know that one. I mean, I see when we're supposed to hand it off, when we should throw the RPO, and we missed a few opportunities for sure. JB started fast, and I think it was 10 or 15 or something for the first half, and obviously 2 touchdown passes. So it's there. We just got to get more consistency from him and get a good plan for him when his number's called.
On the interception, what did you see from him?
Well, he didn't need to move up in the pocket. That caused the pressure. If he just hangs in there, I think we had the guy was up the field, and our offensive tackle was in a good position on that one, and he slid up, and obviously the end could fall back in then, and that's the hit I think is what caused the poor throw. It was kind of a bang bang deal. So just hang in there and make the throw or use your legs.
I saw you tweeted his tweet from yesterday about how 3 years ago he's having surgery for the patella tendon and playing. And do you see that the guys still rallying around him? He's one of the guys that's elected to our culture council, and look, everybody doesn't always get the number of plays they want in sport. I don't know if I've ever coached a team, and football's not the only one. There's basketball, there's others, but everybody's not the starter. And one of my points today in my teachings of the week, which is called Facing Your Giants, is some of the giants we have in life, most of them start as babies, and it starts with us either allowing it to slip in. And one of the things I think we have to do as coaches in particular today is have people like JB who, does he want to play more? Does he want to be the starter? Absolutely. He should be. And I'd think less of him if he didn't want to be. But what happens when you don't get exactly what you want? How do you handle that? And I'm just proud that, I think he's listening, and, for him to say those things. The guy walked out as a captain the other night, and he led us to a win that puts us one step closer to our goal. So, good for him.
When it's all said and done, do you see JB having a promising career as a coach in the future?
JB, if he wants to coach, absolutely. JB would be an outstanding coach.
With the changes at quarterback, how does that change the way that you preach consistency to your offense as a whole, no matter who's taking the snap?
Yeah. Well, I'm honest with our offense. It's been frustrating a bit. We've not been consistent, and I take that very personally. and we've got to find some consistency. And whoever's at quarterback, it doesn't matter. I told them that all week. We can't control who we have available to play, and so it's the next man up, and we in our system have got to find consistency with whoever is there. And so I've got to have better plans, and then we've got to execute. But, truthfully, and I didn't spend a lot of time with the offense other than just say, guys, here's the facts. And I'm going to try to be more positive with you. But when you start 7 possessions behind the chains because we do something to ourselves, it goes back to my old motto, most games are lost, not won. And we're not quite good enough against athletic fronts to start on the 1st and 15s over and over and over again. And so some of that is on us. Now, the game planning and stuff's not on them. That's on me and our coaches. And we got to make sure we have a plan that works for the kids we have available.
Has David Hunter surprised you?
No, not at all. Just saw it in spring. Knew that he reminds me of Jalen Walton, who played for me in Ole Miss, and just kind of knew he had some that dynamic ability. Love his personality. Got to rein him in every now and then, but love his personality. He was an awesome voice in our meeting today, and of course he says it like I wouldn't say it, or not many in our team room would say. But I mean, I think his deal was, guys, listen, Coach is right. We got down because we didn't keep rolling after 14-0. I tell you, we got to start getting jiggy with it. So I like that. Yeah. I said, let's do it, Day. We got to get jiggy with it every play, every possession.
That's a verbatim quote.
Verbatim.
How did CJ Daniels?
I told him to define that for me, and he said, Coach, we got to get the mojo. And so I like it.
How did CJ Daniels' knee hold up after running some routes and getting some playing?
It was good. He's ready to play more. You can tell in today's time we spent together. I expect to see him get more snaps this week.
You faced some really good receivers so far this year, but with Jennings, number 0 for them, where does he compare it?
Every bit as good as any we faced, like Brownlee from Southern Miss and those kids from Wake. I think their group is everybody's got good skilled people. Everybody. It's just too many of them out there. Everybody doesn't have great O-lines. That's the hardest position to find. Seems like everybody now has pretty good D linemen that can run and are strong and athletic. But skill is out there to be found, and they've done a good job. They've got a really good wide receiving core, and the tight end makes them even better because you better know where he is also.
It's one thing to have a good receiver like that, but they get him the ball too. They're able to get him the ball. How much of a challenge does that possess?
It's a great challenge. They're going to take their shots with him. And that's how they beat Virginia Tech. They really struggled moving the ball run game-wise, but they started just taking shots with him, and he got PI'd or made a play.
Rocky Rahimi being out and then going to be out for the first half, correct? This week?
Correct.
What does that do kind of in the back end of that defense? And I know Brylan Green got a lot of run. What did you see out there?
Yeah, Brylan would be part of the equation. Q's kind of Quentin's kind of our we rotate him around, so we hadn't gotten far enough. I hadn't even met with the defense yet, other than just get the grades and talk preliminary about Old Dominion. But they'll have a plan for we either start Q back there and tread at nickel or Brylan if he has a good week maybe, and I'm not sure, but Brylan will be part of the equation and Quentin will be a part of it, and hopefully we bring Preston on this week and he's able to play at one of those spots also.
So you move Preston from corner?
Yeah, we're going to move Preston from corner to nickel.
Okay.
Coach, do you know what the rule is on that? Like, is it 3, then you have to set a game, or do you know what that is off the top of your head?
They've changed that. I need to go read up on that because obviously that's. I thought that one was a questionable. Sure wasn't much. It wasn't very hard of a hit. I didn't think it was quite helmet to helmet, but I'll be curious to see. We'll get those back sometime today and see.
TJ Green, I know he's dressed the last 2 weeks. Is he eager to get out there on the field?
He is eager. We want it to be right for him health-wise, and hopefully this is the week.
One more injury one for me. I don't know if we've got an update on Charlie in a while. Do you know where he is in terms of his
Last week it was we're down to about 4 weeks, I thought, is what I was told. So somewhere around 4 more probably, 3 to 4.
How did the DNs grade out? Was it just individually good games? Was it the scheme? Was it like the defense?
No, 10 and 11 for us. Trayshawn and Darrell played really well. You know, Christian got hurt early in the game, and that kind of hurt us on depth a little bit. Sings had to play a few snaps, but thought both Trayshawn and Darrell played their guts out.
Kendi played really well as well.
Yep. Yeah. So did probably Jay Hardy. Probably had his best game.
That defensive lineup, even if Christian's hurt, I mean, you reiterated when you got here, defensive line depth. You need to get that, straightened out. How do you feel that line has, evolved over the years to where you have Trayshawn's been in the system for 4 years, and you got guys like Darrell third year, and you can sprinkle in new guys and not miss a beat.
Yeah, I keep saying it every week. I think that's one of the strengths of our team, and we've put an emphasis on building that. And through the 3 years we've been here, and it's proving to be beneficial to us.